皆さん、こんばんは。そして、午後日本語へようこそ。今日のテーマは must and must not です。In Japan, there's so many different rules you need to get your head around. So being able to understand how this grammar works is going to help you navigate this really complex society and make sure that you can obey or follow the rules. So by the end of this video, you're going to understand and be able to create must sentences. You're also going to understand and be able to create must not sentences. So stick in there. For example, must. We have the verb in negative present plain form. You take off the I from that and you add kereba narimasen, quite the mouthful. Must eat becomes tabe nai, but tabe na kereba narimasen. Another way, which may be a little bit easier to say, we have our verb in negative present plain form. We add to to that plus ikemasen. So must eat tabe nai to ikemasen. For example, try these sentences together. You must clean the classroom after school in Japan, and you must wear a uniform correctly at Sacred Heart College. So, the first one. In Japan, Nihon de wa Hokago, that's our time after school. Non-specific time, doesn't need a particle. Nihon de wa Hokago, and then we go straight into our verb. Soji o shinai to ikemasen. We could have simply put shinakereba narimasen, the same meaning. This way probably is a little bit easier to say, so we're starting here, but we'll have a look at the other one in example 2. So number 2, just bear with me while I try and work out these katakana. Seikuredo, the dot kind of breaks up the words. Hato, kareji de, quite a mouthful. Seikuredo hato kareji de, tarashiku. Tarashi is correct. Tarashiku means correctly. It's an adverb. Tarashiku seifuku, that's our object. Then our object particle. O. Kimas is the verb. We turn that into present negative. Kinai, that would be, take off the e and add kereba narimasen. So, kina kereba narimasen. In plain form, the whole sentence would be seikuredo hata karaji de tarashiku seifuku o kina kereba naranai. How'd you go? So now we're going to have a little bit of a look at must not. It's the same grammar as may not, but you need to add zettai ni in the front of the sentence. So zettai ni, verb in te form plus wa dame desu. Or you could say zettai ni, verb in te form plus wa ikemasen. For example, we'll do these together. You must not eat while walking in Japan. This is true. Don't do it. Sit down and eat that food. And you must not wear your shoes inside a Japanese house. Obviously. That's disgusting. So, 1, we have you must not eat while walking in Japan. Nihon de, our verb while walking, aruki nagara. Nagara is a separate grammar. So it means while plus the verb that comes in front of it. So while verbing. Oh, whoops, I've seem to have forgotten to add zettai ni, so don't do that because that's the difference between may and must not. So we have zettai ni tabe te form, so tabete wa. Or we can do this in 2 ways. We can say dame desu, or we can say ikemasen. I've gone with dame desu. If you want to put dame desu in plain form, change the desu to da. Nihon de aruki nagara zettai ni tabete wa dame da. Second sentence, we're talking about shoes inside the house. So Nihon no uchi ni kutsu, they're our object, shoes. Or don't forget your zettai ni like I did before. Make sure you add the ten on the se to make it ze. small 2 plus 対、絶対に。hakimasu is the verb, take off the ki, replace with ite, so 履いては ikemasen. If you wanted to put that whole sentence in plain form, just change the ikemasen to ikenai because it's a group 2 verb. As in, ikemasen is a group 2 verb, not hakimasu. So, 履いては ikemasen. Try these sentences. So, you must say itadakimasu before eating. You must not ignore the traffic light. Obviously. You must not drink and drive in Japan. 0. So, I have a test tomorrow, so I must study. That's combining 2 grammar patterns. See how you go with that one. See how you go with all of them. Pause now, because I'm about to show the answers. His answers. 食べる前にいただきますを言わないといけません. It's actually a separate grammar there. 前に, so means before, and then the verb eating. So 食べる前に信号無視を絶対にしてはダメです. 信号無視 means ignore the traffic lights. 日本では飲酒運転を絶対にしてはダメだ. Unlike Australia, Japan is zero tolerance. So there you go. 明日テストだから勉強しなければなりません. The reason here is there's a test tomorrow, so that goes first. And then we have kara, which is in the middle because. So because of test tomorrow, 勉強しなければなりません. I must study. How do you go? Try looking at this picture, make a couple of sentences using must and must not. Again, Japan is a very socially complex, lots of rules. 頑張ってください。そしてどうもありがとうございました。高先生のゴゴ日本語のチャンネルです。